Hey, Real Green Ninja here. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different today. We're going to be talking about PCI compliance. Now, this video was prompted by a call I got earlier this week. So the thing is, I kind of want to make a video to kind of give some people a heads up on what's going on as far as what PCI compliance is, as well as why you want to be careful with it. Essentially, what PCI compliance is, it's a set of standards that was developed by the banking industry that says if you want to store credit card information, these are the requirements or these are the procedures or policies that you have to follow in order to be able to store it. Okay. Now, if you do not follow PCI compliance, you could be fined quite a bit. In fact, if you go to the PCI standard, and again, I don't know if this is the official website or whatever, but it does give information about the fines, and some of them are pretty expensive. Okay, we're talking about up to $25,000. Some of them, depending on what's happening, it could even be a monthly fine. So again, you want to be careful and not store credit card information inside Service Assistant itself. Now, if you have like the CAW with the credit card processing and stuff like that, you can type in the credit card information on the payment screen. That's going to be sent to the bank, and the bank is the one that's actually going to be storing and processing that information. If you have clients that log into the CAW website and they put in their credit card information, again, it's not being stored in the software itself. It's being stored at the bank that we work with CAW and stuff for credit card processing. So again, in the software itself, you do not want to put credit card information, all right? You don't want to put it in the memo field. You don't want to put it on a notes field or anything because, again, that would be violating the PCI compliance standards. So like I was saying, you can process credit cards through Service Assistant, but don't put credit cards in the Service Assistant software itself as a note that someone could potentially pull up in the future, all right? Now, there are some people that have had our software for a while, and if you've had our software for a long time, you do know that at some point you could store credit card information as credit card information. All right, there was actually a field that you type that stuff in there, and then you could run a report, charge the credit cards, and so on and so forth. Again, we don't want you to store that credit card information because if you get caught, if your server gets stolen and they get into the data and they break in and stuff and they get the credit card information and fraud, you could potentially be held liable. So again, like I was saying, we don't want you storing that information. So if I go into a customer screen here, actually I've got a customer right click here, and I go to the billing tab, you'll see I actually have a credit card information field again. If you see this, you can just turn around and turn it off. Like I said, any of the newer customers, the people that got our software recently, they're not even going to have that field there. All right. So again, just if you're curious, that's why that field's blank, is because that's where this information was originally put. But like I was saying, you do not want to put the credit card information in here. Again, you don't want to put it on like notes or directions or under the contact or memo, because again, that would be violating the PCI compliance laws. Now, if you do have that field, again, you want to turn it off. Now, be aware, though, when you turn it off, it wipes out all the credit card numbers, and you cannot turn it back on again. All right? Again, I had to play around with some stuff to get that turned on in the first place, but like I said, it's not something you'd be able to even do at a user level. To turn off that field, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Data, Company Parameters, General Setup, and then go under Miscellaneous, and you'll see there's an option called Disable Storing Credit Card Info. So, if this is a case where you do have credit card numbers for auto pays and stuff like that, and you want to make sure they get set up, there is the ability to actually set your customers up for auto pay. I don't know if I have mine turned on. Let's see here. Because unfortunately, I don't have CAW and all that stuff. Where was that? I thought it was under. Yeah, if you're set up with CAW, it will actually have a option right here that says like set customer up with auto pay or auto pay stuff or whatever. And again, when you click on that, it's going to ask for the information, and then again, that information gets transmitted to a bank and stored at a bank. It's not actually stored in the software itself. But as I was saying, if you want to turn it off, what you're going to do is edit mode and then disable. Okay, like I said, if you have people that have credit card numbers in there that you want to keep for future, then what you want to do is definitely make sure to do it as soon as possible. But you're going to send those credit card numbers over to CAW so that way they get stored at the bank side of things so you don't get in trouble. And then once you do that, definitely turn this off. Because again, when you turn this off, it wipes out those credit card numbers as well as it removes the ability to even store them. So when you're going to click on that, I'm going to go ahead and hit Save, Close. Now when I close Service Assistant and I go to reopen it, I'm not going to worry about resizing the field. I'm just going to move the screen over once we get reloaded. There we go. Put a password in. Yep. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. I just love my computer. That stuff loads so fast. So again, when you want to put in the, if you disable that, If we go back to data, company parameters, general setup, you'll see under miscellaneous, we don't even have that checkbox to uncheck it. So like I said, once you turn it off, it's off. You cannot turn it back on. Now if we go to the customer screen, that we were just looking at, go to the billing tab, again, you'll see that field area is blank. So like I was saying, you do not want to store credit card information because it could become very, very expensive for your company if something were to happen. So I hope this helps clarify little things, and you guys have yourself a wonderful day.